So this is our third session. So now let's continue our pseudocode that we're trying to build. We're trying to translate the flowchart to a pseudocode, right? So tell me what to write. Output num1.
Num1 is greater than num2. And then else output num2 is greater than num1.
Like that?
Yes, but I suppose it could also be equal, which
yes, maybe this condition is not. Did we see that in the flowchart?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's have a look at this flowchart then. Let me see. So in the flowchart, actually, he didn't take into account that they are equal. So it's yes, it's possible that they are equal. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
But again, we are translating what he put in the flowchart.
Okay.
And he only have one decision. I mean, he's just doing only one check only for bigger and smaller than. Okay. So we just do whatever is there. Okay. Yeah. So let's try to see and run. Hopefully it works. Okay. We put 10. You put 20. Okay, why is there is an error? Can you read the error?
It says name NF is not defined.
So what does this mean? Can you go to line 15 and check what is that?
It's supposed to end the if statements.
So what should I write? In your opinion? Jojo?
Yes.
What should I write? How to correct the mistake?
Maybe I don't, is there supposed to be a D and if?
Yes, perfect. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, again. So when you are talking with me, okay, then you are building the brain chunks like I told you before. Okay, that is the purpose. Actually, yeah, it's the most of the teachers will always talk nonstop. But I don't think this makes sense from the studies. The studies say if you are engaged with me all the time like that, then you will have a stronger memory, even if you don't memorize as hard as others. Okay, so now, okay, so suppose if we run again, then it should, yeah, and let's say put 20 here, and then 100. So does this make sense to you? Is it working as it should be?
Yes. Num2 was 100 and num1 was 30, so it should be greater.
Okay, perfect. So we can return back to our slide. Okay, so we did manage to translate that flow chart. Okay, so yeah. Now let's have a look here. So he is, I mean, it is very interesting that he's trying to explain how the techniques that is used for totaling, counting, minimum, and max. Okay.
Okay.
So you know this you know this for loop, right? It's very clear to us. We have seen it before. He just maybe using different variable names here, but at the end we can still understand from his variable names what he's trying to do. But the only thing that maybe is slightly newer to us here is this part.
Okay.
So this is a sign that he is using an array actually.
Yes.
Okay. So so is it clear that he is trying to total the student mark to the total? He's
Yes.
trying.
Yes. And yes.
Okay. So he is doing it for all the class. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Even though to me it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make real sense that he have to add the total marks of the students in a total, because suppose every student have no relation. Every student mark have no relation to the other student mark. They should not be added unless they want to find the minimum or maximum or even averages. If he's trying to find an average, then this is the only thing that makes sense, because typically, as we know, that if we are trying to go through marks and add them, we should be adding one student marks. So if we have a student and he have maybe 2 or 3 exams, so we can add the marks of all his exams results. This makes sense. Does this do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, right? Okay, perfect. So we can move to the next.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yep. So now he's trying to get an input. He going through a for loop, and the for loop will ask the user to input student mark, and then the student mark is going to be checked somehow. And if it is bigger than 50, he will increment a counter. So that's he's going. This is what he's going to do, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then he is also doing something here. Why do you think that he's doing that count?
So that's the counter increases to the next.
Yes, but yes, I totally agree with you. But just be aware that this is a for loop, and normally the for loop is responsible for increasing its own counter, right? So
Oh, yes. Okay.
yes, and but also be aware. If we can still remember that we only use this kind of counting to keep track of our counters if we are using a loop or repeat until or even while loop. This makes sense, right?
Yes.
But here in this case, maybe he doesn't. It is surprising. We have to think why he need to put that here, because in the exam, he will ask you if the piece of code is actually correct or wrong. I mean, sometimes he will ask you to find why certain lines is actually wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So to me, I will put a question mark on this. Why is he do this kind of count? And especially he's doing it outside. Okay. To me, I don't see any purpose. This is clear. This part is
Yes.
clear. Okay. And unless we see the next part of code, also he doesn't put end if here. So that's also a possibility for a mistake. Okay. That he forgot to put the end if. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Should we move?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, so yeah, let me explain this minimum and maximum. So have you done something similar in C# before?
Um.
To get so if you have a list of numbers that is in array,
Yes.
are you able to find the minimum and the maximum number?
Yeah, well, I could, yes,
You have find something
by,
similar.
well, what I would do is I would have a variable that's equal to 0 or whatever. And then each time I run the for loop, um, the next number, the first number will be added, will be the minimum mark would be made. It would be equal to the first number in the list. And then after that, for the for loop, for every next number, I would check if it's greater than the minimum mark. And if not, it's continues the for loop. And if it is greater than it, if it's less than it, then the minimum mark becomes that number.
Okay, so it's clear. That's perfect.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. And the only thing that maybe we didn't take in this specific class, again, that this is an array. Other than that, you already explained it perfect. That's good.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, so the difference between that code and that code that is that here, he's just so if he okay, if he know the minimum mark and the maximum mark, or even he know what is expected for the minimum and what is expected for the maximum, then yes, he can assign them in the start. So he will put here the minimum and the maximum. Okay, but if he doesn't know, then he will get that from the first entry in the array. So if he have array of marks for the students, then he will get the first one and put it for the maximum, and also he will get the first one and put it for the minimum. If you notice here, he is assuming that he know actually what is the minimum and the maximum. So that's why he put from 0 to 100. Okay, but if he doesn't know, then he will use the second method, which is this one. Tojo, is that clear?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. So Tojo, is that clear that to you that how this guy is getting the average?
Yes, it's sort of like the previous example, what we saw before, but
Yes.
to calculate the average now, they're using that totaling.
Okay, perfect. So it's clear. We move to the next.
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear about linear search before?
No, I
Okay, but I will not continue on pseudocode here. I'll start to move in Python just to balance the class between the pseudocode and Python. Dry run debuggers. Just let me share with you a little bit here. So, did you try a debugger before in C#?
I have, yes.
Okay. Did you try it in Python before?
No, I
So
haven't.
in Python it should look like that. Okay. And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think now it's clear. So if you see the parts, this is the variables that I put in this code. So that is the code that I put in idle. Okay. X equals 0, and then I myself can not able to see. I just pity you. So you see that code here, x equals 0, y equals 0, and z equals 10. And then I make y equals z plus 1. Okay, so z plus 1 means 10 plus 10, because z is equal 10. So z plus 1 equal 11, right? So y now have 11. So
Yes.
here, 11. Okay, what about x?
X is 11 times 10.
Okay, so it's 110, right?
Yes.
And that what we are seeing. Sorry, it's a bit. That's what we are seeing here, right? So although we just print, so that actually can tell us what is happening inside our code. So if you are facing a bug or something, then you go using the debugger, you are able to execute one line by one line.
Okay.
And this is available in all the languages. You can find this in PHP, you can find this in C#, you can find it everywhere. Everywhere they have a debugger, and you are able to go go into certain code line by line. Normally, with Visual Studio, sometimes they allow you to make to mark one part of the code where you stop. He will stop there, and then from there you're able to go line by line. So if you know that your bug is in maybe a bunch of lines from maybe 1,000 line, then you are able to ask the code to stop here, and then from there you go line by line and check what is the variable values, especially if you have a large number of variables. Okay, so that's it in our in our class, not in our class, but in this course about debuggers. So we move to the next, and again he's just showing it here, but he doesn't show it for the Python. He just showed it for the Visual Basic. So I believe this is some part of the Visual Studio debugger. We have gone through variable declaration in both Python and pseudocode, and we already talked about type of data types in both the pseudocode and Python, right? Am I right? Can you still recall that?
Yes.
Okay. So, and we also use the input, and yeah. So now I believe you still have an idea about what's going here. So do you notice here the if statement in the pseudocode looks like that with then and end if, but here we only have a colon.
Yes.
Okay, so it's clear to you?
Yes.
So every time we need to run, you have to care about the indentation. Indentation will cause you an error. Do you understand that in Python?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, so you notice the else here in Python, right? Is it clear to you how he use a colon and he use the else, while in pseudocode he doesn't use doesn't use any colon, right? Is that clear to you?
So,
We move to the next. Okay. Okay, so just a while ago, actually, we have seen a code that use a case, right? But that was in a pseudocode. So in Python, we don't have case. It's a strong language, yes, but it doesn't have a case. So do you see now how he tests for equality? So he have a variable called of value, and he tests if it is equal to plus sign. So what kind of variable is that? What is the type of variable op value will be, in your opinion?
it's a string.
Yes, perfect. Yes, that's good. So, and yeah, I mean, yes, if it is a string, then he will make the answer is these two numbers is added together, right? And if it is minus, he will minus the two numbers, and then we know how it goes from there. Except that I just want to show you here. Let me use another. Just notice here only the else if. He do. I mean, in other languages you will see else if, but elif here. It is elif here, not else if. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Did you use it before, elif?
I have this. Is
Okay.
it by can you use an if statement twice, or do you have to use elif?
No, sorry, I didn't get you. Can you try to tell me a question again, please?
Is it possible to use two if statements in a row, or do you have to use elif for multiple always?
You are able to use a few else if else statements, or even a few if statements. Yes, you are able to use that. But
Okay.
if we're talking about so if somebody is checking your code for efficiency, then there will be some question marks. Okay, but I just want to explain to you why here. Um, First, in this if statement, um, once he finds so the uh, the nesting of this if statement, or it's not nesting. No, it's not nesting. I need to find the correct word. But how to tell you? Huh? In here, he will only check. Uh, he will only wait for one if statement to become true to exit the whole thing. But if you put a few if statements below each other, it will go through all of them. So it means what? So if I come here, so let's assume that the op value here that I put is actually the asterisk, like that. Okay, sorry, it's not perfect, but this, I just want to give you an example. So let's assume before we run this code that this is our op value. We make op value equal asterisk. Okay, and then
Okay.
we come to check the first condition. First condition will become false. It's not plus, and the second condition will become false also because it's not minus. And then once he come to check the third condition, then it's actually it will become true. It is the assignment is correct. Of value, it is true is that it is equal asterisk. So he will come to execute that code. And when he executes that code, he will exit everything. He will not run to the rest of else if. Does this make sense? Then why you should not run put a few if under each other? Because if you do that, let me share with you here. So just give me a second. I need to check here. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So value, can we do it like that?
Yes.
I will not make it all, but I just want to show you. So value. I mean, okay, and then if sorry, um, value. Okay. Let's put it this way. Um, Pop up. Let's put it a mark like that. What do you think?
Yes, I understand.
So actually, pop up. I want to show you that. Actually, I am not able to show you that he will execute every if statement in this second case. I thought I'm able to share it with you, but what I want to say that if you use separate if statements, that was your question, right? To use separate if statements.
Yes.
So yes, he will check every one of them. Okay, but in this case, once he find the correct one, he will just exit. Again, and there is a slight mistake in the code. Suppose here we put asterisk, and here also we put asterisk because so that should be the correct thing. But yeah, so once if he execute that, and then he will go to check the other if statements. That's in short. Okay, I think I put too much time here. Is that clear? We go back.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So we know there is no case. There is no cases in Python, and we use if instead. So did you know the range function in Python?
Yes, I have seen it.
You have seen it. Do you know how to start? How to make it start from 0? How to make it start from 1? How to make the step larger or smaller?
Yes.
Okay, that's perfect. I think we have. So the while loop. The only difference between while loop in Python and while loop in pseudocode, we have here the colon, and we don't have in end while like in pseudocode. Is that clear?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's perfect. So let me know here. Is that clear to you how we make total, right, in Python? It's similar to what we have seen in pseudocode.
Yes, I
Okay.
understand.
Do you understand what this means? Have you seen it before?
Well, yes, it's sort of like adding, making the number of items equal to itself plus the incrementation. But this time is a shorter version of writing it.
Yes, you are perfect. And we don't have that in pseudocode, right?
No.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so that's what we want to know here. So did you deal with any string handling functions in Python or even in pseudocode before?
I've seen length. I think that's the only one.
Okay, so yeah, so you already know about length. So the thing that I want to tell you that here, did you see a substring and you see how he's able to cut a Python string before? Tojo? Tojo, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so did you see that before, substring here, in the
No.
pseudocode? Okay, so the only thing here, if we have, okay, so we only have like 10 minutes, never mind. So we have a substring here. The difference between pseudocode and Python is that always in pseudocode we start with position 1. So if we have a string like that. Okay. The index of the first character, typically in any programming language, will start with 0, and then 1, 2, 3. So we say the length is 4 characters, but that length, we are able to say the index of t, or the position of t, is actually 0. So if I want to bring the character at position 0, it will be t. Character
Okay.
at position 3 is 0. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, but in pseudocode is different. No, the t is actually 1, position 1, and then 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Okay, so if we want to, can we count here how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Am I correct?
Yes.
Did I miss something?
No, I
Okay.
don't think so.
So can you tell me the position 10? If we start here from 1,
S.
so S here, right? So he will try to, so this substring, he's trying to get signs out of the whole string that is computer science. Does this make sense to you? So if we have this is 10, and then he count 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's getting this out.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go in okay, if we have this string, right? So if I want to print str, and then I want to let me think, huh? Sorry. Pop, pop, pop. 1. What do you think should be the output?
TH.
Let's see. He doesn't like what I'm putting here. Yeah, it should be like that. Sorry, I make a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually it's not th, it's t. But why is that? This is a bit
Doesn't do.
so actually I mean, this last number is actually not inclusive, it's exclusive.
Okay.
Okay, so if I say this number become 2 and I run, I'm able to get th. So is that clear? So this is
Yeah.
0, and then 1, and then 2. I mean, this is t h e. Okay, 0, 1, 2, and 2 is exclusive. So I get th only. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So what if we let me try to check if we do like that. Do you see what is output?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you see what is the output? Nothing changed, right? But wait, I want to remove that totally so that we are. Let me see. Let me think. Let us put this. Now, is it clearer? What -1 do?
It is in the last one.
So
The last character.
Yeah, so it get me all the string, but except the last character. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So if I do -2, I think it should be clear, right?
Yes.
Actually,
So
no.
it will do the last two, remove the last two characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let me think. Yeah. Let us try to get the remaining. So that is string handling. So we have a few minutes remaining. So let's try to do that remaining parts. case here. This is in pseudocode. So that actually how to say it converts whatever inside to an uppercase. And if you use dot upper here this way, you can do the same in Python.
Okay.
Have you seen that before?
Yes. To make it uppercase.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we are able to make a lowercase in we are able to make it a lowercase in pseudocode also the same way with this lowercase function, and we able to use lower to do the same with Python. Is that clear?
Yes. Okay.
Have you used that before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So one more thing here I would like to add before also. I think adding and subtracting and multiplying and division is, I think it's quite easy. But except that, have you seen the power of that operator?
Yes, I have.
So okay, so you have seen it before. Okay, that's perfect. What about mode and div and div?
As like it gives you the remainder.
Yeah, okay. So if I would say 2 modulus 2, have you seen that before?
Yes,
This is
you get
equal
0.
0. Okay. So what about div?
I've never seen that before.
Okay. So div actually how to say, if you are dividing float and then the result have a decimal point, so that gets you the integer part, not the decimal part. So if you have let's say 5 divided by 2, so you have 2.5, right? So you get that part automatically. Okay, Tojo.
Yes.
So we will end it here. I know
Okay.
that we couldn't make it 1.5 hours this time, but let's try on the next times to work it in a proper way. Okay.
Yes.
Please, I will send you an email. I will send you an email, and then